Hey YouTube, Beardmaster180 here again with another review. This week I'm reviewing the long anticipated, for me anyways, the new Prince of Persia The Sands of Time movie. Based on the game of the same name, the movie follows a young prince who gains the ability to rewind time with a special dagger. The movie falls into the action-adventure category and you get exactly that. Some adventure and lots of action. So we'll get into the story first. The movie opens up with a young boy named Dastan living on the streets defending his friend from the king's guardsmen. After a valiant attempt to escape the guardsmen, he is caught and about to have his hands removed for punishment. And the king puts a stop to this, and he sees something in Dastan, and so he adopts the boy and basically makes him a prince alongside his two other sons. So now we fast forward 15 years later, and Dastan and his two brothers, Garsif and Tuss, they lead an attack on a sacred city named Alamut, under the suspicion or assumption that the city's people are selling weapons to their enemies. Um, and they're told that by the king's brother and advisor Nizam. I hope I pronounced that one right. So the city's defeated, and Dastan takes as a trophy an odd-looking dagger, while his brother Tuss decides to marry the princess of Alamut, Tamina, to make Alamut part of the Persian Empire, sort of a union type thing. And at the celebration, Tuss bestows upon Dastan the job of presenting their father two things. First thing is Tamina, Tuss's new wife, and an honorable gown to the king. It's sort of like a ceremonial gown of aliments, and he wants the king to have this. However, the gown is poisoned, and Dastan is blamed and labeled as a traitor because it was him who presented the gown. So, without going into any more detail, basically Dastan and Tamina escape from Alamance, and Dastan discovers the dagger's magical powers, and he finds out that Tamina is a guardian of the sands of time and the dagger. And if the dagger shatters the hourglass, the sands are then will destroy the world. The world will be destroyed by the sands themselves. So I won't say who the true traitor is, but I will say that if you've played the first game, Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time, you'll have a good idea of who that is. Um, Other than also in the story, Dastan, does the thing that everybody else does, the typical cliche of, trying to, um, make his name good again and show that he's not the traitor. So, other than the dagger, the movie title, and a few things here and there, the movie does not follow the game's story whatsoever. There was no king being killed and then prince being betrayed. I don't know about the old 2D side scroller game. I never played that one, but as far as the Sands of Time movie goes, that was released for GameCube, PS2, and Xbox, this movie does not follow that story. It follows a completely new story, um, but a couple things here and there. So there's no sand monsters. So if you're going, oh well, I want to see this because I want to see what they do with sand monsters. No, it may have been the creators of Pirates of the Caribbean, but they don't do any like zombie things like they did in that one. The acrobatics that made the game so fun, yeah, they're there. They are in the movie. They're one of the things. So, like I said earlier, the action is also there. What this movie lacks in a story, because it is a pretty typical story, it makes up for. It makes up with edge of your seat action. It's exhilarating to watch. It gets your adrenaline running. It's never a dull moment. I was enjoying it. The locations are also quite amazing. Whether it's the sandy deserts or a royal palace or just a small city area, everything was stunning and it really added to the movie. Um, they kept with that. That looked really nice. Now I know there were a lot of complaints about how Jake Gyllenhaal or Gyllenhaal, I don't know how to pronounce that one either. I know that there was a lot of complaints that he shouldn't have been the prince because he's not of Persian descent and he's British and stuff. And aside from that, he did a really good job of capturing the prince from the game. Um, yeah, it would have been better to be more accurate, to have a prince that was actually Persian, but all in all, I think Jake did a really good job, and I enjoyed watching it. So, all in all, I found this movie to be phenomenal. It was definitely worth the 4 year wait for me. I found out about that they were making this movie about 4 years ago. It would have been 3 years ago, but the company decided not to compete with Transformers last year and waited next year. Personally, this movie was 10 times better than Transformers. Um, well, the second one, Transformers 2, kind of sucked. So I give this one an 8.5 out of 10 because even if you've never played the game or you're just not a fan of the game, the movie's still a great popcorn film, and you wouldn't be disappointed either way. So rate, comment, subscribe. I'd love to hear your take on the film, and thanks for watching.